Yeah. So what's going on with this Aeromophila here, Carm?
This one here is Aeromophila maculata, and the flowers are long and narrow ones. And at the bottom of the flower you have this swollen base. Oh look, there's a better one over there.
Okay.
Come and I'll show you.
Beautiful.
That's Aeromophila maculata, and maculata means it's got a spotted throat.
Okay.
Maculata is the Latin word for spots.
Okay.
Now, this one here is also a pink form of maculata. Now, the flowers are a very clever way the plant has designed to get pollen from another flower to go all the way down to the bottom of here and form a seed. So what they do is they colour themselves in a colour that birds like, and there are certain birds that have quite long tongues, like honey eaters, and the birds are able to put their tongue right down, and as they do it they brush pollen off onto the part of the plant that's called the stigma. Now this one here, hold on, I'm just breaking it open. It's here. Now these ones with pollen on them are called anthers, and they're the male part of the plant. And then there's this middle one called the stigma, which is the female part.
Yep.
And the pollen from the anther, preferably from another flower, hits this stigma, travels down the style into the ovary, and in the ovary you have what they call ovules, and they're really
Carm, are
like...
you able to pop that just flat on your hand?
Yep.
And that way I can...
Yeah, the pollen, which is the male part, travels right down the stigma to the style, and then inside here is the ovary.
Yep.
And the ovary holds the ovules or the eggs, and that's the female part of the plant.
Yep.
And when that happens, the pollen fertilises the ovule or egg,
Okay.
and that's the beginning of the seed.
And so the bird is taking the pollen from another plant and taking it to the ovule of this plant?
Yep.
Okay.
And the reason why the bird is so interested in putting its tongue all the way down, and they've got really long tongues, the reason why is if you break that off, there is a whole lot of nectar.
Hey, just hold that still for me, Carm.
Can you see it? Shining in the sun?
Yeah.
And that is gorgeous, sweet as anything.
Okay.
And I've seen parrots actually break them open. Well, that's useless. That's not pollinating.
Okay.
Parrots are just greedy. I've had little kindergarten kids and they call these parrot lollies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lovely.
And I think, oh, hang on.
So that nectar...
Here's a photo of a honey eater. You can't see the tongue, but it's often got that shaped beak that goes right into the flower, opens it wide so it can put its tongue right down the very bottom.
Okay. So the nectar is almost like the way that the plant attracts the bird, and then the pollen from the other plant just sort of gets to the new plant almost accidentally, but I suppose there is a design to it all.
It's very carefully crafted by the plant.
Yeah,
It's
wow.
the way of the plant cons something to help fertilise its flower so it forms seed. Plants are clever.
And so no seeds in the world can actually form unless they've been pollinated.
No, that's because the plants have the problem that the boy part of the plant and the girl part of the plant are separate, and plants aren't allowed to walk.
So it seems that our food crops as humans are really reliant on this pollination.
Yep.
Yeah, wow.
Totally. And the shape of the plant determines what gets attracted.
Yep.
We've got another one.